all Canadian here. Like, even if you moved to Canada, like, we consider you Canadian, you know? Like, we just want to know what your background is. And I don't think I've seen TikToks where people are like, don't ask, it's rude. And maybe that's like that's just a different opinion, but like, I have never minded when people ask me, oh, I checked his balance. Funny. Why don't you go back with your boyfriend? We're figuring it out. Distinguish between the country you were born or grew up, but where are you from originally? So where are you from is like, where are you from originally? I think those two are the same questions. Like, I think if you're trying to figure out what someone's background is, I think you should ask, like, what is your background? Like, what's your like, what's your ethnicity? But if someone tells you, if you ask someone, like, where were you born, and they tell you Canada, like, don't be like, okay, but where are you actually from? Because they just told you where they're from. You know, like, where I'm from and what my ethnicity is are two very different things. Like, my ethnicity is I'm Chinese and Japanese, but I am from Canada. Like, culturally, I am Canadian. That is where I'm from. That is where I was born and raised. But ethnically, I'm not. Like, because being Canadian is not an ethnicity unless you're, like, native, right? But ethnically, I'm not Canadian. Ethnically, I'm Japanese and Chinese. I don't know if that cleared things up. Okay, knock knock, who's there? It's true. We do ask people, I'm white, and people ask me. Exactly, because sometimes it's like, you're not just white, like, you could be Irish. Like, what kind of, are you Eastern European? Are you, I don't know, like, from Great Britain, you know? Or are you Mediterranean? Like, it's, you know? Yeah. He is so handsome, yeah. Neurodivergent people often are a little more abrupt with how they ask. Yeah, that's okay. Like, I don't, like, get offended. Obviously, it's like, you don't need to get offended by a simple question. But sometimes, like, especially in a country like Japan, because I guess, like, it's just been, like, frustrating for me to sometimes when I talk to people here, because they'll ask me, like, oh, you're Japanese, and I'll be like, yeah, I'm Japanese, because I'm literally Japanese. Like, I'm Japanese. And then they'll be like, but where are you from? Because they can tell that I'm not, like, from Japan. And I'll tell them, oh, I'm from Canada. And they're like, oh, like, when did you move there? And I'm like, I didn't move there, I was born and raised there. And they're like, it's just really hard for them to comprehend that a Japanese person could be, like, born and raised in the West, I guess. I don't really know what it is, but they'll literally, like, even after I tell them that I was born and raised in Canada, they'll literally just be like, so how old were you when you moved there? I'm like, bitch, I literally just told you that I was born and raised there. And I've just had that conversation so many times. Like, it's not like a individual thing. They just don't understand that. Like, it's just like, yep. Hutch, bless you. Do you speak Portuguese? I don't speak Portuguese. I feel like it'd be really cool to speak Portuguese, though, because I actually grew up with a lot of Portuguese people back in Toronto. I don't know if it's because, like, I was near Little Portugal, but, like, my entire street was just Portuguese people who watched me grow up. So I love Portuguese people. I think it'd be really cool to speak Portuguese. But, like, I feel like Portuguese would be so hard to learn, just because, like, just listening to Portuguese, there's so much, like, like I feel like your mouth has to move in such interesting ways for that sound to come out. In Canada, we're more of a mosaic, which is why we ask. In other countries, people may ask because oh, your comment cut off. Last night I seen a burglar breaking in his own house. I guess he was working from home. Are you just like Googling jokes to share with us here? Okay, when it gets to 1:30, I'm gonna get off and start working. Okay, wait, let me just turn on the hot carpet because it's really cold. It's really cold. Okay. No, I'm the comedy prince. Okay.